Today I'll discuss budget planning guidelines for advertising personal injury, bankruptcy, and Social Security disability law firms. Injury law firms want budgeting guidelines for advertising and marketing. And there are some, but first a couple of ground rules to remember. Rule 1, you're in the law firm business to make money. You need a budget planning process, not just another gut estimate based on how you feel about your advertising presence. You need a process based on response data. And second, you're going to have to invest yourself in the process. You or a firm manager needs to get educated and shirt sleeves deep in the process of advertising your law firm. So for the numbers, defense firms with less than 100 attorneys charging the average of 3 to 4% of gross fees for advertising and public relations. They can get away with such a slim number because they know their targets. They have referrals from other law firms. They have insurance companies and claims executives for clients, and their marketing universe is just small. Your plaintiff practice faces a very different challenge with its marketing. It's just more complex. It's more competitive. The advertising budget will be greater. There are some must-haves that need to temper your thinking. You've got to achieve certain levels of reach and saturation within your television media planning. Underachieve these levels, and you've not just bought less advertising, you've bought none. You must plan for digital advertising. It's a hyper-effective advertising medium. And this is the good news. The not so good news is that it must be carefully managed daily. You must budget from an advertising strategy for it, and you must allocate time to manage it. So what's the process? How do you budget for all this? By knowing the projected return on investment for your law firm. You measure the cost. Demand database analytics for every advertising medium you deploy. Every commercial, every white page, every yellow page, every blimp, every sandwich sign, the advertising response for your advertising is in the measurable database. And you can know, not think, that these media are pulling their weight. No database equal no effective analytics. No analytics equals sloppy, feel-good advertising spends, and that's just not good business. So what's the number? Expect some serious prospect response for your law firm's caseload when you deploy 10 to 20% of gross annual fees for advertising. Law firm advertising costs vary tremendously by market. Advertising in New York is just more expensive than advertising in Little Rock. Still, the percentages are a good guideline. But remember, you're making a commitment with the hard-earned money of your law firm. You want this money to work for you and pull response. You want to know it's building a caseload for your attorneys, or you just shouldn't spend it, period. Feeling good about your advertising because somebody saw your spot last week just isn't good enough. You want clients, not feelings. And yes, you should consider working with a dedicated law firm advertising agency. You sell time. Consider their ability to return time, billable time back to your law firm. You want an advertising firm that understands the simple business premise that your advertising must be efficient, accountable, and productive. A firm that is willing to live and die by the numbers. And this is what we do. Kirkpatrick Creative is growing our law firm advertising business by doggedly clinging to the accountability principle that we know our client productivity numbers. We develop sophisticated proprietary software for harvesting response analytics for our law firm clients. If you would like to learn more about how to strategically advertise your law firm to build your caseload, call Kirkpatrick Creative or visit us online at kirkpatrickcreative.com.